Wraithrex crawls with an uncanny speed and thrusts his staff toward the party. A glow of magical energy builds up, and the air crackles as a bolt of green lightning shocks in the party's direction. Special combat. Battle stats. King Wraithrex. Defense 14. Health 20. Attack 12. Damage rolls a d4. Thatch starting health 12 out of 15. Merrick starting health 15 out of 16. Special combat battle mechanics. Combat will go back and forth until the boss is defeated or both heroes lose their health. If attack is greater than or equal to defense, it is a hit. A d4 die will determine damage dealt for Thatch, and a 2d6 die will determine damage dealt for Merrick. Party member battle abilities are determined once per day by the cards drawn. If the card matches the required suit and number, the ability is activated. Face cards, Jack, King, Queen, and Joker, act as +10, but also reduces that party member's health by 1. Good luck. Let the battle commence.
Maybe we'll get lucky and get one shot in.
Yeah, if only we could get some of that kind of luck to flow our way.
The Insect King roars and lightning crackles from the staff. A lightning spark shoots out and aims right at Merrick. Merrick rolls a d20 for defense with a stat of +4. She rolled a 19. Merrick jumps to the side just in time and begins to nock an arrow.
Don't hold back!
She points her crossbow toward the Insect King.
Shadowed souls, pay heed, and with my power grant me Void Bolt!
Merrick rolls a d20 for attack with a stat of +2, plus Void Bolt, plus d4 roll, 4. Total roll, 19. The arrow flies through the air and lodges itself deep in the Insect King's right face tentacle thing. Merrick's damage roll, 6. Wraithrex's health reduced to 14 out of 20. It screams in pain. Thatch raises her thorn whip and aims to wrap it around the other tentacle. Thatch rolls a d20 for attack with a stat of +4. She rolled a 17. The whip catches and the thorns dig in tight.
Fire Dancer! Think you can add some fire to my whip?
Thatch damage roll, 2. Fire Dancer card pool, 8 of clover, +1 damage. The Fire Dancer makes some kind of choreography and chants.
Fires of old burn. Seasons of time turn. Power of light glow. Passion ignite. Flow!
Flames snake from the Fire Dancer's palms through the air, weaving around Thatch's whip, inflaming all the thorns wrapped in the tentacle. Then the Fire Dancer clenches her fist, and all the fiery thorns explode into the holes the thorn whip made. The force of the explosion releases the whip, and Thatch pulls it back to her. The roars and screams from the Insect King grow louder, and the leg tentacle thing clenches inward in pain. Wraithrex's health reduced to 11 out of 20. The screams die down into a menacing growl.
Ha! What was that about wishing we could get some luck to flow our way?
The Insect King raises up slowly and takes a deep breath. As he does, lightning builds on the staff once more. Wraithrex points the staff at Thatch. Thatch rolls d20 for defense with a stat of +3. She rolled a 19. Merrick looses another arrow into a hole that the whip had made. Merrick rolls a d20 for attack with a stat of +2. She rolled an 18. The arrow pierces deep once more, and then sparks fly from the fire explosion. Merrick's damage roll, 2. Wraithrex's health reduced to 9 out of 20.
Do you think this bug is all talk and no bite? Luck is really against it so far.
Merrick, you know better than to throw out sentences like that.
The Insect King stomps the cave, and giant boulders begin to fall.
Look out!
Thatch raises her shield. Merrick tries to dodge. The Enchantress puts her hands into the air and cries out,
With layer upon layer, grant us safety with your guarding light. Protection!
Enchantress draw. Queen of Diamonds. +4 defense. -1 health for the Enchantress. A shimmering barrier covers the party. Thatch rolls a d20 for defense with a stat of +3, plus Enchantress defense +4. She rolled an 18. Merrick rolled d20 for defense with a stat of +4, plus Enchantress defense +4. She rolled natural 1. Critical fail. The rocks fall, but the expanding barrier blocks it from the party. However, before the barrier catches up to Merrick, a rock hits her in the back and flings her forward. She cries out in pain as another rock catches her in the leg and rolls off. Merrick tried to curl up in pain, but the pain was so great, all she could do was writhe back and forth. Wraithex's damage roll, 3. Merrick's health reduced to 12 out of 16. The Enchantress, who was holding the barrier in place, gets snagged by a rock in the arm and cut. She cries out, but holds the barrier in place until the rock stops falling. She then collapses on the ground in pain herself.
Merrick!
Thatch tries to run to Merrick.
Ah! Keep fighting!
The shout stops Thatch in her tracks, but only for a moment. Then she puts her hands on the ground and chants,
Hither and yon, flit and fly, bestow your gifts and power supply. Petal storm!
Vines pour forth from the ground and petals flitter through the air. When they touch the party's weapons, they burst into a glowing light. Petal Storm adds D4 bonus to all damage rolls. Thatch raises her whip and cracks it down onto the Insect King. Thatch rolls D20 for attack with a stat of +4. She rolled a 16. The whip tears straight across the chest of the Insect King. Damage roll plus Petal Storm, 8. Wraithex's health reduced to 1 out of 20. Merrick aims his crossbow at Wraithex's. Merrick rolls a d20 for attack with a stat of +2. She rolled a 10. The arrow does pierce the lower chest area, but does not sink in enough to cause real damage.
Hey, Frost Mage! Think you can get in at the arrow and damage more?
Frost Mage card draw, 10 of spades. Attack bonus +5, total 15. The Frost Mage lifts his sword and quietly mutters to it. It begins to emanate frostbite. He runs up to the arrow and sinks his blade into the same hole. The Insect King cries out as tendrils of frostbite creep across its body. Damage roll plus Petal Storm, 7. Wraithex's health, -6 out of 20. It kicks wildly at the Frost Mage, who deftly jumps out of the way. It writhes and bucks again and again, but the frostbite tendrils keep crawling. Eventually, the insect's movements slows and finally comes to a final stop. The party catches their breath in the silence and let the roaring try to escape out of their ears.
Hey! Grab my arrow while you're there, and give it to me.
The Frost Mage looks confused as he grabs it.
Hey, don't look at me like that. Waste not, want not. You think arrows grow on trees?
The Frost Mage starts to respond.
Don't answer that.
Then, with an eerie rumble, the body of Wraithrex shudders. The wounds inflicted upon it disappears. He channels dark energy through the staff, mending its body until not a trace of injury remains. The party all stares in horror as a malevolent smirk curls upon its lips as it raises itself up, casting a mocking glaze down at them. The cavern echoes with its laughter as it turns its back to them, a dark silhouette disappearing into the tunnel depths. Out of the corner of her eye, Thatch notices a glittering where Wraithrex had been standing.
Hey, there's 10 amber here.
She gets grunts in response. Everyone is beat or hurt.
Let's make our way back to the castle. We can sort out this boon then.
The party collects themselves. Thatch walks over to Merrick and lifts her up to help her walk. Then, they make their way out of the tunnel.